Howdy folks, it is June 14th or something like that, and it is a cloudy, little bit rainy, smoky day in Annapolis. And I don't know if you can see kind of in the background there, it's very smoky, and it wasn't like this like where I live, like about 20 minutes north of here. And I thought maybe there was like a fire or something around, but it's like almost the entire city of Annapolis is smoky. And I think we were supposed to have some of those Canadian wildfire smoke here, and maybe that's it, because it smells like smoke. But like normally when we've had Canadian wildfire smoke, it doesn't seem like it's this bad. So I don't know why it's as smoky as it is today, but it's like all over the place, and it smells too. So today I'm on the boat, and I did a little sewing project. So I want to take a look at that sewing project, and then it's related to a safety system. So we'll talk about safety, like my safety systems that I have on Island Thistle. So what I've got here is the Life Sling, and actually this is not the Life Sling brand. This is from Plastimo called the Rescue Sling. The same concept. There's that thing right there. That is a sling. It's attached to a long length of polypropylene line, and then it goes into this bag, which normally hangs on the back of the boat there on the stern. So what happened though is it had some straps that hold it on to the railing, and then another strap up here, and they're normally red, but what happened is they just kind of degrade in the sunlight until it like turned into powder. And then the top of this thing is always gets really dirty. So what I did is I replaced all the webbing. So this piece here, and then the webbing here with the Velcro. It's got Velcro inside, so it holds it onto the rail. And then I took this piece of canvas here and just put it over the top of it, because the top was all kind of ugly looking. So that might protect it, make it look a little better than it did. And I replaced this piece of Velcro here also because it was under the webbing. So I'm gonna put this back on the boat and show you how this thing works. Alright, so first easy part, this thing just attaches to the rail, and these are the pieces that I replaced, little Velcro straps. That just snaps on there just like that. And then the sling itself goes inside this bag, but here's the trick. So it comes with this long length of polypropylene line, which I'm going to try to find the end of it here. I'm going to have to repack it in there so it's all nice and neat. So it's got this part here, the sling part. This is attached onto here with the bowline knot. So that's on there like that. Then you got the long polypropylene line. It goes all the way, the end of it. Alright, so here's the other end. And this is polypropylene line, and one of the problems with polypropylene is it degrades pretty quickly in the sunlight. So this is the part that you would want to attach to the boat, but you don't want to attach this to the boat because it would go, you'd attach it to a rail, and it would go into the bottom of the bag, and the little bit that's sticking out of the bag would eventually degrade and it would get weak, and then it would kind of like negate the purpose of attaching it to the boat. So instead of doing that, what you want to do is get a piece of line that is not going to degrade in the sunlight. So this is just an old piece of 3-strand nylon rope that is not susceptible to UV degradation. And what I want to do is take this end, attach it to the boat, and then take the other end and tie a bowline in it. So the first thing, once I've attached this to the boat, next thing I need to do is run this piece into the bag. So it's got a little hole in the side of the bag here. That's going to go into the bag. And now I'm going to pull most of it out, all the way up this way. And then now that's the part that is just going to stick out of the boat. So I've got this piece here attached to the stanchion that goes into the bag. And now with this piece sticking out, I'm going to grab this end here and I'm going to tie a bowline in this and attach this to there. I'm going to put that through there like that. Tie my bowline in there, cinch it up tight. So that's on there like that. So now all of this and then all of this is just going to get tucked into the bag. And I think you probably want to do it so this doesn't get tangled up. So I'm not going to wrap it up, because if you wrap it up in a circle, it's going to get all tangled. I'm just going to kind of maybe like figure 8 style, put it in there and then get it all tucked in there. And then last thing, the sling goes in there. All right, so the line is in there, all nice and neat, and then the sling is the last bit, and that just folds up, and this thing goes out on top, and everything gets tucked in. And it's got a couple of flaps on top to keep the sun out of it. All done. So there it is with the new cover on it, new strap, and then the new attachment points in the back. And it looks about 100% better than it did. The other one was white on the top here. I chose not to remake the entire thing just because I had this piece of canvas laying around. And I had actually already cut or sewn seams on the 2 of the edges because it was the piece that I was going to use right there, but I ended up making that one bigger than I first did it. So this was a leftover piece. I was just able to recover it and keep the rest of this, which is still in good shape. If you have the Life Sling version of this, there's the Plastimo version and the Life Sling version. I think Sailrite makes a kit to make a cover for this bag, and it has the little instructions. There's usually like an instruction panel up here, and then you can have the instructions for it right there. On this version here, the Plastimo version, they don't sell an instruction panel for it that I can find. There was one on here, somewhere like in this area here, but because this gets a lot of sun and it had like worn out and you couldn't read it anyway, so I think this will work out just fine, and it looks a lot better than it did. And that is one sewing project for the boat that is done. So I like doing those little sewing projects like that, and I'm thinking at some point what I'd like to do is start doing that commercially, and maybe start out doing small boat canvas repairs or something like that. I don't want to get into anything big like making biminis and covers and not that sort of thing, because that's a lot of work. And I think if I started out doing small projects, that would kind of give me some experience doing those things, and it would also give me a chance to kind of see how that goes and see if I can get business that way. I think it would be easy to find that kind of work, because I think a lot of the bigger canvas shops, I would imagine, are pretty busy with big projects and they don't have time to take on small repair projects. So I think if I did that, if I just focused on only small projects, that might be a good start to getting into boat canvas work. So I don't know, I'll see how that works. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. If you think that's a valuable service that would be profitable. And speaking of safety stuff, in this little compartment here, this is where I keep my safety stuff. I got some things in here. Got flares that I keep. This is another like a rescue throw rope, similar to the rescue sling, but it's not attached to the boat, and you just have a line. You have a line here, and you throw the whole thing, and it has a line that kind of comes out. Inside this bag here, in addition to the flares, I also have one of these flashing strobe light things that are allowed to replace flares. If you have one of these, you don't have to have the flares. But since I've had the flares, I don't want to get rid of them, and I keep this thing. There's a rescue flag, a couple of chem lights in there. I got another strobe in here. It's not a flare approved strobe like this one is. This one has a big ring around it so it can float. This one doesn't. It's just a regular strobe light. I got a safety or reflection mirror in here. There's a whistle in here. Some other signaling type stuff like that. So this is like all signaling type stuff. I also have another whistle in here as well. So that's kind of like those types of safety things. It's kind of dirty in here. I'm gonna have to clean this out. One of the disadvantages of this space here is a lot of dirt ends up in the edges there, and I don't wash it out as much as I should. But that stays right here, right next to the helm, and right next to the life sling, my safety equipment on the boat. So in addition to that stuff, I also, of course, have fire extinguishers on the boat, life jackets. I keep the big orange type of life jackets on the boat. I have, I think, six or so of those that I keep on the boat all the time, and then I usually wear an inflatable, and my wife wears an inflatable, and we have an extra inflatable, plus some other throwable cushions and stuff like that. Also have a couple more whistles here and there in the boat in different places. So all sorts of signaling and distress signal type things. But that's about all I've got for today. Not a huge video, but I've been busy with a lot of stuff this spring, and haven't had a chance to record a lot of videos lately. Coming up this summer, I'm going to be busy as well. Yesterday was my last day of school. I've got to do some work next week though at school, and we're going to shoot to do an overnight or a couple overnights here coming up in the near future. In July, most of July, we're going to be like out of town for we're going on a vacation out west. We're going to do a road trip around Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico. So we'll fly out there and rent a car and drive around. And then we'll be back here for end of July, which usually July is a bad sailing month anyway, so we won't miss much sailing. And then before you know it, August, and we'll be back in school. So busy summer, a lot of stuff going on. Not a lot of boat work though that I've done, other than kind of cleaning, taking care of the wood, that sort of thing, which I still need to do more of. But that's about all I've got for now, and I'll try to do another video coming up here, maybe put some sailing footage in it or something like that, once we go out and do our overnight. So that's all I've got today. I will see you folks some other time.